Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Juggernaut, and well, today I don't have a video for you. It's just audio. It's just the profile picture and audio, because today, excuse me for a second to close the door and not wake everyone in the neighborhood. Window too. Today is the end of an era. For 21 years, exactly to the date, yours truly has attended some form of schooling, one or another, right? And I am by no means alone in this. I think at least most people in the Western world attend school, right? The regular kind. Not here to talk about children that do not have access to education. That is horrible, but it's by no means special, right? The length of it, though, kind of is. Because for 21 years, that means that I've gone through primary school. I never went to kindergarten or stuff like that, which now might make the 21 years even a little bit more impressive. I went to primary school, I went to high school, middle school, and this really sort of now depends on regional dialects and what you call what, but yeah, I went all the way to university. I finished university, got my master's degree, finished that, and now I finished my PhD exams. Now, granted, I am not a doctor yet, right? I do not have a doctorate. I have not finished my PhD thesis yet. That is yet to come in the next, I think I have 6 years to finish it, legally speaking. So, it's still, Juggernaut, you're not out of the system yet. Yeah, but I am, and I'll let you know why. I'll let you know why, and I want to talk about it a little bit, because I think a very, very large portion of my audience is relatively young. And as relatively young people, you're probably still in some form of school yourselves, be it university, be it high school, middle school, whatever you want to call it. And, yeah, I wanted to share my experience a little bit. I wanted to tell you what it was like, and maybe I help someone out there, and if not, maybe you just find it a little bit entertaining. I have some fun things that happen, some interesting, life stories and stuff, and it won't be a long video, but I'll share a couple of things, the stuff that I'm able to at this time, at least. So, first of all, after being in this system for 21 years, in this structure, in this sort of, I don't want to call it a cage, but sort of this invisible hierarchy, right? Of a built-in rhythm every single day. Semesters, deadlines, grades, feedback, grades, semesters, deadlines, and then classes as well, obviously, through the vast majority of it, one class after the next. Homework, and then assignments, and then projects, and later in high school, and so on and so forth, and all of these things. They are very much alike. Obviously you sort of level up, and the how serious your studies are increase linearly over time, but they are very much alike. Whether you sit in class in the first day of school at the age of, 5, 6, 7, whenever you start school in your countries, or whether you're, 20 years later sitting in a desk somewhere for university, you're pretty much doing the same thing. You're listening to a lecture, and then you have some type of quote-unquote homework afterwards that you need to do, be it your own research, be it a paper that you need to write, or, something to draw when you're in kindergarten or whatever. The structure is more or less the same. And after 21 years, I am outside of this structure. I have crossed the invisible line of being evaluated, and I am now the evaluator. Well, that is, if I do get to evaluate some people, but the evaluator in a sort of more meta sense, not that I am now someone's professor and grading their papers, but more so about creativity, right, and creative writing. I am now the creator, I am now the voice, I am the one that stands on the shoulders of giants. And this is going to sound very egotistical if I keep going, which I have no intention of sounding, but it is so liberating. After 2 decades of your life having this rhythm, And yet there is also a kind of emptiness, a kind of, it's not a void, it's an open space, but it is kind of scary and kind of interesting and new, because now it's post-PhD studies, right? We're now in the creative territory where you get your own projects, you make your own papers, intellectual curiosity kicks in, and it's center stage, really, and it's freedom. It's true, proper freedom, still within a system of, review and peer review and stuff like that, but it's so much more liberating. For now, I intend to rest. I ordered myself a stupidly large meal, because I haven't ate anything all day, and actually I haven't ate anything since yesterday. I was too busy preparing for the exam. Drove for like an hour to the university, did the exam, drove back for another hour. That's 2 hours of driving. I'm very tired. So I intend on resting as well. And then afterwards, obviously I have my thesis to write and research to do for the thesis, but it's stuff that I love. It's stuff that I'm really interested in. The thesis itself, provided it gets accepted, of course, but generally, I can't tell you the specific title of it because I don't know what it's going to be and what gets accepted and what gets changed in my whole idea of it, but generally it will be about the systems of power and control within a society a la Michel Foucault and New Historicism, and throw in some political unconscious there by Frederick Jameson, minus his Marxistic take on it, obviously, because I'm by no means a Marxist, and I honestly can't stand them, politically speaking, but in terms of criticism, they make some extremely good points about society, which is why it's valuable to read them with a critical perspective, right? But take the good stuff out, right? The stuff that you agree with, the stuff that's insightful, at least. Anywho, that's what I'm going to be doing for, a large portion of my life now, and maybe, hopefully even until retirement, but it's completely different. It's you being on stage, right? Setting your own deadlines, setting your own projects. It's a freedom that I have never experienced. And it also gives me an opportunity to do something I haven't been able to do in almost 3 years. Well, I did it for a little bit, like last year, but generally speaking, over the past 3, 4, 5 years, I wasn't able to do this. And that is to read out of sheer joy again. Yeah, there's Warhammer books on my shelf right now that are waiting to be read, and they shall be read. Obviously after I rest, because I just went through about 500 pages last night of various theoretical texts on something called engaged literature, or literature that criticizes the public, insights for change, etc., etc. It's Jean-Paul Sartre basically came up with the thing, or is credited as sort of one of the biggest and most important founders of the whole idea of. It's not a genre, it's more like a way of looking at literature, but yeah. Anywho, that's what I did, and I'm going to rest now. And then tomorrow evening, well, technically the day after tomorrow, but it's going to be like 2 a.m. or something, I'm leaving the country to go on a bit of a trip. Now, it's like a 24-hour trip or so, maybe a little bit less. It's not long. I prefer to stay here and rest and, enjoy the comforts that I've built for myself in my home in the shape of my PC and my other hobbies and stuff. But for a while, I need to get out of this place, right? Because 21 years I've spent studying here, and yes, I've gone on vacations and stuff, obviously, but I need to mark this by just getting out of here on a bus for like 8 hours into a different country to just look at the buildings. And I'm not even sure where I'm going to be going. I'm probably going to be going to Romania because it's nearby and it's a doable trip, and it's ridiculously cheap as well. So there's that. But that's my immediate plan for resting. When I come back, we're going to do some more streams. because I am very much looking forward to that, and I am kind of looking to grow my YouTube channel a little bit. Now, no, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go spamming everywhere around to showcase my videos to people, or covering only the latest games or anything like that. Like I said, I'm done with that. I really don't want to do it. I want to make videos that I find fun to make. To me, that's the most important thing. But I do want to maybe focus a little bit on the growth of the channel as well. Sorry about that. Just to have it sort of as a backup and maybe additional source of income. And now that I have considerably more time, I will be able to do that. I will be able to produce more videos. I will be able to market those videos, quote unquote. And yeah, that's sort of the channel update, I guess, Bart. But as far as I'm concerned, if it weren't for YouTube copyright laws, I'd now play you a very special song that's near and dear to my heart, but you can Google it and play it yourself. It's the soundtrack for the movie Gladiator, the old one, and the soundtrack is Now We Are Free, because that's what I feel like. It's the end of an era, and it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit, but it is the most liberated I have felt probably in my entire life. So, there we go. I'll see you all around on the channel for some more videos, live streams, generally gaming content. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being around. And I'll see you all next time. Until then, have fun, take care, and bye-bye. Oh, and I will, in the future, share some stories about university and how I got through it and some exciting moments and stuff like that, but technically I'm still employed in that building, and I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share and what I'm not. So, we'll see how that goes. I'll talk to some people about it. There are some stories that I'd rather not just blurt out into the internet immediately without checking with my superiors. But I do have a few that I know I can share. And I guess I'll do that on the live streams or something like that. See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.